Hello everybody and welcome back to Cities Skylines, where last episode we worked a fair amount on some traffic work. And for now I don't really want to continue to do that because of course, ultimately our traffic is going to be reduced by a mass transit system, and we need to continue to expand to really be able to afford that. Now, I will say that I'm not really able to rotate other than like this form of rotation. I'm not able to vertically rotate at this time. My mouse has decided that middle mouse click no longer works. I have a new mouse on order, but for now we have the limitations that we have. It is unfortunate, but yeah, this doesn't do anything. I'm not sure why it's not working, but a new mouse is ordered. It will arrive eventually. So for now, we have that as a limitation. That's okay for the moment, but we definitely want to expand this out over here. So I'm just going to do that very, very swiftly here. We're going to bring this guy right on out. This looks straight. Okay. And then we're going to bring this guy out to be here. Yep, that looks good. And then this one, that does look good, actually. Slight gap there, but there's not a lot to be done about that. And then we've got this one, which we'll have to just trust as being good. It does look, I think, reasonably good. I can't pivot the camera up and down. Is there a hotkey to do that? Hang on. This is zooming in. Ah, T. T and G. Okay, so that's a workaround, but it's definitely not ideal. Okay, we'll just sit about like this for now. I would definitely prefer to use the mouse for it, but here we are. At least we have a way to do it. So we're just going to build these roads straight up through here. Looks reasonably good. I think I may have messed this one up a little bit. Yes, I think I did. Let's back that off. I think I got a slightly bad snap there. Okay, so we just have to bring this up about like that. Cool. So it's definitely a lot harder to get this aligned the way I want it to with keyboard. No doubt about that, but we'll get there. So for now, we'll just bring this up to be here. This looks not straight at all. Doesn't it? It definitely looks not straight. Okay, let's bring this out only on a 90-degree marker here. That is better. I don't think it's perfect. I also don't think that this is straight. So let's just pull this out for right now, and we'll leave this be. I want to grab this point here, which we know where this ends up going in, which is right here. So I want to grab that, and I want to move this out over here in this 90-degree angle. Is that relatively straight? Maybe is the answer. It's definitely maybe. So we're going to bring this guy over here. Sure. That's at a 91-degree angle. And I can definitely tell that it is a little bit off. So let's bring this up and see what this ends up feeling like as we bring this up and see how straight this ends up being. That's pretty straight in terms of parallel here. Okay. So that's relatively fine for the moment. This doesn't look straight at all. We'll get to that. And I'm not shocked that that's not straight either. So just bring this up about like so. This looks about right. And then from here, we should be able to just bring this over. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a little bit off here. We can just have a small correction there. That's reasonably fine, but I think it would look better if we just had it come in at a slight angle like that. So just a small correction there. That's okay. Now, this is going to need to be what is going on with this intersection? Get out of here. Let's try that one again. That doesn't feel quite right. That feels better. Okay, so that'll do for right now. Let's move this on up to about here. And then we'll just keep bringing this guy up. We will, because this is on the other side of the highway, we'll kind of just have to trust that this is at a reasonable angle, but it broadly looks like it. Broadly. Maybe what we should do, though, is have this snap only to geometry. And then we can run this as being about... Yeah, this is at a slight angle up here, but about there or so. Nope, I hate it. We're just going to make it be a little bit inaccurate in some places, but accurate in others. That's how we've made this whole city, so we'll just have to have it be like this. Okay, now this is clearly flawed. There's no doubt about that. So I'm going to take that guy out of there for the time being, and we're going to need to re-extend this up. The question is, if we make this be angle only, how does this end up looking? I think it's non-terrible. So that would end up going up to about there. Yeah, I think that's pretty decent. So no issue there, necessarily. And then this one would have to come on over. So we'd go here, 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 here. All of that looks pretty decent. Okay, now we can put our roundabout in here, although we have slope too steep off to the north, which is fine. We can just get rid of that northerly area and re-extend that out. So that will be from... Where is that? Here. And we'll just put that about there. Cool. So no problem there, in theory. I mean, we can definitely see that it's not perfect, but that's fine. Now, as far as getting these on-off ramps go, that's going to be kind of interesting. We'll have to do it via keyboard, like this. It'll be sure nice when the new mouse comes in, which is supposed to be next week, like mid to late, and I'm not happy about that. I'll be honest. I would like it to be a little faster, but we'll just have to deal with this as it is. We don't need this to be that far back, do we? I don't think we do. Let's just bring this in to be somewhere around here. Yeah, that seems reasonably fine. And then somewhere out around here. Yeah, that'll do. No left turns there. And then we'll bring this guy out. Invalid shape here. Is that actually true, though? No, it's not. It's a fake invalid shape. Okay, that's fine. And then we'll do something like that. I feel like this needs to be moved back ever so slightly, though. To, like, here. And then moved out a little further. It's not perfect. But it never is. So that is fine. We'll let that be for the moment. And then we're going to have to do this out over here. It's a lot harder to nail these rotations with the keyboard. No doubt about that. I'll probably get used to it, but... Okay, we'll bring this up over here and down over here. That'll do. No left-hand turns. And then right up over here, we will do an off-ramp and then an on-ramp. Cool. That'll do for now. So no left-hand turns there. Now, of course, we can zone up this area, and that was the reason behind doing this. We need more low-density housing, because of course we do. We need all of the low-density housing on the planet, apparently. So we're just going to zone this entire area low-density housing for now, including this block up here. And we'll see how that ends up going. Oh, UI got turned off. There we go. Cool. So I want to pitch this a little bit like that. Yep, that'll do for now. And we can keep a bit of an eye on how things are playing out here. I'm a little bit concerned about our commercial demand spiking soon. We do have a little bit of area over here we could expand it with, and that may not be a bad idea, actually. We may want to make this be, like, high-density business out over here. So from, like, here down to about here or so. And then similarly, out over this way. This would all be high-density business. Like that. So that'll mean that we have some wrong zoning there, but broadly that should be okay. Cool. Do we see any major traffic issues at this time? This should put at least some sort of a band-aid on our low-density residential demand. Hopefully.
Second Moon Radio.
But we'll see how that ends up going. We currently have no traffic issues. It is 10:47. Do we have our day-night visuals on right now? I don't know if we do or not. We do. Okay, good to know. So that's absolutely fine.
Not all good news.
And we'll just cruise on forward here. Now, we could come down this way and expand again. And that may not be the worst idea right now. I do think that there is a fair amount of additional work that needs to be done here. I think we're not going to have enough as it is. Now, looking at this, that's not at the correct angle. I can tell you that right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this guy up to be here. We're going to bring this up to be 112. Right there. Obviously, this is going to be a little off, and we're going to have to redo that. But we can then bring this over to be... Where's that angle snap at? Here? Okay, this is clearly not where this angle is supposed to be. Let's just turn off the snapping for the moment, and we're going to look to have that be somewhere around here or so. Okay, now we're going to be basing it off of this. So we're going to turn snapping back on, and we're going to bring this guy up to 112. Right there. And then we'll just bring that over. This road I'm going to take out. It is clearly incorrect. And we are going to bring this guy up 112. That's 148. That's 113. It's probably close enough. Now it's saying 175. Now it's saying 208. Hang on. Now it's saying 113 again. I'm not moving it. Okay, well, it's actually 113. So that makes sense. We're going to do that for now. And I want to get rid of these areas of road here. This one is fine to stay, I think. Yeah, I think that one's fine to stay. And then we'll take this out, and I want this to just head up over here. It's going to be at a slight angle, and we may end up having to move our radio mast here, and that's fine. We can reposition that to be about here. No problem. And then we'll run this guy up over here. Yes, it's going to be off a little bit. This power line is not connected. Ah, that power line. Gotcha. So that runs out to our Firewatch station. That is, okay, we'll just reconnect it. Now it's not connected here. Okay, now there's a big mess there, but I'm sure it's fine. So that'll be okay. There's a little bit of correction happening here, which I definitely don't love, but, you know, it's fine, I suppose. And then we'll bring this up to be 224 meters, which would be right about here. I'm going to put it here. And then we'll bring this out at a 90-degree angle to be exactly here. Okay. Now, this Firewatch tower might end up being in an awkward position. We'll see. For the moment, I want to extend out our highway here. Actually, we shouldn't do that yet. We should not do that yet because we want to bring these roads up first. So we'll bring this out. Snap only to angle would be probably ideal here. And then that'll end up coming up over about here. This is not correct. Hang on a moment. That's not correct at all. So we'll just snap it to geometry, and we'll do it this way. This will be fine. Yeah, this is going to be wrong on this side. That's the way that we want it to be. And we'll bring this up over to be here. That's much more accurate. I like it. So that'll be fine. 90 and 90. 90 and 90, 90 and 90, and yep, that looks good. And then we'll bring this one up as well. There we go. And now we can bring this guy up to be approximately over here. Yeah, that seems relatively fine. And now we can do our highways. Fantastic. So we are going to head up over this way. And I don't want this to go down here. Hang on. What are we connecting this to? I'm trying to scroll with the middle mouse button, and it's obviously not working because that has apparently decided that it doesn't work anymore. So we're going to head out over this direction, like so, now that we know that we're at the correct altitude. Or correct-ish in this area. We'll see how that ends up going. And then, of course, we'll need to bring this guy down as well. So that's going to be about here, 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 here. And we'll just bring that... Ooh, I think I did not nail this one. Pretty sure that exited the snap point. Okay, right about there. Looks good. This direction. Cool. So the Firewatch station is going to have to move. I can tell you that right now. It's going to be right in the way. So I think we can actually just demolish it. Since we have this area developed, we don't really need a Firewatch station here. And we'll just get rid of this power line as well. Okay, so we'll do something like that. Oh, this power line is above ground? Okay, awkward. And we'll just do something along the lines of that. Looks relatively good. And now we can put in our roundabout here. Perfect. And we can do our on-off ramps, which we shouldn't have significant issues with the on-off ramps. Snapping on, though, and we'll just bring this up to about here and down to about here. And, of course, no left turns. There we go. Off-ramp here. Invalid shape, but I think it's probably actually fine. Indeed it is. And then we'll just bring this one on up. That's fine. No left-hand turns. Looks good. Okay, next up will be this out over here. On-ramp here. And off-ramp here. That's going to be a little too far out. Slightly better. Okay, so something like that. And then, of course, off-ramp about here, although we have a pillar here, so we may as well try to use that. And on-ramp right about here. Okay, that'll do for now. No left-hand turns. And that looks absolutely fine. Let's zone all of that up to be low-density housing. This up here is, I think, row housing. So we can make this area be row housing. And I think this is row housing as well. I don't want to make this block row housing, though. So I'm going to rezone it all over here to be low-density housing, even if it's already row housing, which it may or may not be. Okay. Yeah, something like that should work. And then these over here... No, this is low-density housing. This is not row housing. Okay, we'll just do that. Fantastic. So these should get reconnected, I think. Or we could just bulldoze them, and that might not be the worst idea. Just bulldoze them and rebuild them. Cool. So that should be fine for now. That should keep our housing demand a little bit under control anyway. We have crazy housing demands. No doubt about that. We certainly do need a fair amount of additional workers. Now, how many of these are educated workers? There are some education workers needed here. Or rather, educated workers needed there. However, our education is doing pretty well. That said, we only have a 5.6% highly educated rate, which isn't amazing. That said, at least 28% are educated, 39.1% are poorly educated, so clearly we need some more work on our education. There's no doubt about that. So this would be industrial and office efficiency. And would also have student capacity. Intriguing. It would be relatively expensive to build and maintain. 143,000 per hour? Okay, we're doing fine on that front. Whoa, this is very laggy with this on. Okay, noted. So we would need to put this somewhere like back here, but it really doesn't fit there. Yeah, it's horizontal. So where would we... Wow, this is so laggy with that open. I mean, it's better with it closed. It's not perfect, but it is better. So I think we're going to need to move our disease control center. I'm going to pack that in over here. Over here? Yes, about here. Then I would like to move our hospital to be over this way. That does almost fit in there. We'll do that for now. Then the question is, can we fit that technical university in right here without blocking our highways? This almost takes up a full meta block on its own. So there is that. It'll have to go here. And oil refineries are now possible to be built as a signature building. So, I mean, sure, we can certainly build one of those. It'll produce a lot of pollution, but we can just slot it into the pollution zone. The question is where? Would be a very temporary position. We could think about putting it, like, up over here. We're already blocking the highway with the solar plant. We just can't quite fit it in here unless we were to remove the roundabout, which we could theoretically do. And now we can fit it in right there. Okay. So that seems reasonably okay. The oil refinery is currently empty and available for rent, but sure, that should be reasonably fine. So we're currently making like 136K right now. Yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all. We're filling this in over here somewhat quickly, but not hugely quickly. That's a good sign. We also see our demand is overall shrinking. So that's not bad either. I like it. Now, traffic is going to be an ongoing concern until we really start to get some sort of a mass transit system in here. And the question is, what sort of a mass transit system would we be interested in doing? That's something I've been thinking about, and I haven't really come up with a good answer to that question yet. But I think I want it to be structured in some way around the meta blocks, right? So, like, walking distance from here is only 2 blocks to the highway, and is from there 4 blocks to here. So if we had a metro station, like, in the center of every meta block, or if we had it, like, up here, which would maybe make a little bit more sense, just based on space, then it wouldn't be too far to get to each station. And that is a theoretical possibility that we can do there. The question then is, how do we structure horizontal and vertical metros? And I don't have an answer to that yet. We'll get there once we start actually messing with the metros, I'm sure. But for now, I think we're doing pretty well here. There's not a lot that we need at this moment, although we will have to expand our residential more. Now is not the time for that. And I want to continue to check in on our education. Okay, I want to see what do we have going on here. So we need elementary school. We could certainly consider putting an elementary school in down over here. And I would like to block only one road, so putting that in somewhere around here.
This is Second Moon Radio Classic.
We might have to change that a little bit, and I'm not entirely sure what's up with this intersection. Let's bulldoze that and put this road back in with a proper intersection. There we go. And then this can get rezoned. This is supposed to all be low-density housing over here, I think. Well, certainly in this area it is. So we can just do something kind of like that, although I don't want to zone it on this side just yet. Ooh, this got unzoned, so we'll just rezone that. Perfect. So that'll do for now. It is about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, I'm still going to be sad because I won't have my mouse replacement yet. It'll be a little bit. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Kintogan, Ali Lee, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.